So here we are on the Adobe main site. You can start a free trial, so if you're still umming and ahhing whether to actually invest in the programs and in the software, you can start a free trial. Just note that all trial software from Adobe will be restricted. There'll be certain elements of the program that won't work. You also have a limited free trial. Most of them cover for about 30 days, but you won't actually be able to get to the end of a project to export over a certain amount of time. Say, take Premiere Pro, for instance. You'll only be able to export up to a certain length of video. And it may be also watermarked, so an image over that video, so it can't really be used. Let me deep dive a little bit with regards to the Adobe model. So as you can see, first off, we have some subcategories. So we have a photography package. We also have all apps, and below you can see each of the individual programs that are available on a month-by-month subscription. I said that you can't buy them outright. You used to be able to, and what used to happen with that, and the reason why Adobe have moved over to the subscription service, is firstly, it ensures that they have an ongoing revenue stream for them. Secondly, it means that they can continue to update that program effectively all the way through that year. You see, take Premiere Pro, for instance. Premiere Pro used to have a new version pretty much every year to 18 months, sometimes 2 years if developments needed to take that long. Now with Premiere Pro, it's updated all the way through the year. There are major updates, normally around April and maybe around October, November, but there are also bug fixes all the way through the year, which there were with the standalone programs. But rather than developing something new in the program and Adobe thinking, we'll wait until the next version so people have to buy again, it's just released. Granted, after a couple of years, you are effectively paying more for a standalone product like Premiere Pro. However, when it was a purchasable outright license for the software and you didn't have to pay anything more, when there were new developments in the new version, say you're on Premiere Pro 4, CS4, that's what they used to call it, and then the upgrade was to CS5, you then needed to pay again. There were sometimes upgrade payments, so you could get it for 50% rather than paying the full price, but you still had to pay again. At some point you've got to pay. Also, with being able to do it as a month-by-month subscription, it cut down on the amount of pirated copies that people were searching for, as rather than paying £400 straight off to use a software, as you can see with Premiere Pro here, it's £19.97. It's not always £19.97. Stay tuned. Where are you going to go? So quite simply, Premiere Pro can be bought or licensed standalone. It can also be got within the All Apps option. Now, as you can see, All Apps here is £49.94 per month, and that covers the whole Creative Cloud suite. We'll look at that in a couple of seconds. What I do want to mention is that you don't always have to pay these prices. If you're savvy and you can search on the internet, there's always somewhere that is offering deals. And it's not just for your first month. If you get a good deal, normally about around Black Friday or New Year sales, Christmas sales, other holiday sales, you can normally find it for a reduced amount, and that reduced amount goes throughout that whole year. Then when you get to the end of that year, Adobe will get in contact and say, your price is going back up to what it should be. You just shop around again. Personally, in 10 years, has it been subscription for maybe 6 or 7 years now? Maybe a little bit longer. I've never paid full price. So if you can shop around, you don't have to either. So let me take a quick look at Premiere Pro standalone. So you don't just get Premiere Pro. You also get, and it's not actually explained here, you get free trials for their Adobe stock images. I've personally never used it, but you can pay annually or monthly. The price will vary. As you see, £238.42. That's an annual prepaid amount, but it's not bought outright. You only buying the license for a year. But also with Premiere Pro, you will always get Adobe Media Encoder. That always comes packaged with Premiere Pro, even though it's not listed here, because that's what you also use for Premiere Pro. Now, why would you want to get any other programs if all you're wanting to do is edit video? Premiere Pro can do that, absolutely. However, there are certain elements in Premiere Pro, certain elements in all of these programs that work together with what Adobe term as dynamic link. The one program that I see so much in my Premiere Pro work, although we're not really going to cover it on this course because it's just so detailed and so deep dived, is After Effects. There are motion graphics templates, to name just one element. They're called MOGRTs, M-O-G-R-T, very clever. And to use an After Effects MOGRT in Premiere Pro, which is something that's actually made in After Effects but can be opened in Premiere Pro, you have to have After Effects installed. You don't even need to open it, but Premiere Pro needs After Effects to read the file when you're opening. We're not going to be working with any MOGRTs in this tutorial, but just bear that in mind, because if that's £20 a month and that's £20 a month, you're getting already close to the £50 a month. Also, you don't always pay. I've never paid this price. So it might be better for you to get all apps. The reason also to have all apps other than After Effects is if you're a videographer, you're probably also a photographer, or at least take some photos. Lightroom is in there, which is kind of Photoshop, but much scaled down and much easier to work with to just tweak your photos. Illustrator. In Illustrator, you can make or even import already made vector graphics. Standalone still graphics, which can then be brought into Premiere Pro or brought through After Effects into Premiere Pro and be animated. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but I think all I'm trying to make the case here for is, if you think you're going to use other stuff to really go into, stuff is a technical term, into Premiere Pro, it may be worth going with all apps. However you do it, that's how you get the program. Once you go through either Buy Now on the All Apps or Premiere Pro, you will then download what is called Adobe Creative Cloud.